Hi, Modron here. Today's video will be a mix of information we know about the origin characters as well as my private thoughts and theories about them. I tried to minimize spoilers, so this video should be safe for those who have not played the game. I will start my dwelling with Shadowheart. She is a cleric, and when it comes to alignments, we can get quite conflicting information from early access. On one hand, she worships the goddess of darkness and night, whose nature can be considered as neutral evil. We can see her liking for the dark side, which manifests itself, among others, during the meeting of the worshipper of Loviatar in the Goblin camp. On the other hand, if we take the evil path and raise the root growth to the ground and slaughter the tieflings, at the party after this event, Shadowheart will be clearly broken and she'll be drinking like a fish. It's also worth noting that if we save the grove and the tieflings, Shadowheart will tell us that she herself didn't expect to care about them. In addition, Sven himself emphasized the distinction between good and evil Shadowheart, which will probably also apply to other characters. When it comes to romance, it seems to be the least forced, most sincere, and gentle. Next up is Will. Now, Will is an enigmatic figure. His alignment seems to be neutral good, perhaps chaotic good, due to his association with a certain Cambion. Will seems to be gentle, but in emergency situations, he is able to claw his way to his goals. I won't say too much about him because, as has been announced, the script for this character has been altered quite a bit. Also, another YouTuber, Fextra Life, mentioned that Will reportedly has a new voice actor. Moving on to our baby girl, Astarion. I have a love-hate relationship with this guy. Just like with Gale, in fact. On one hand, I understand his actions. Sometimes I can relate to him. He's funny and seems to be, at least in my opinion, the realist of the group, with a tendency to skepticism. However, he is an emotional mess. He is emotionally unstable and seems to look out for conspiracy everywhere, which is probably due to his relationship with his former master. He is quite sensitive and therefore can discourage people. I think that he's a great character, mainly because many people either love him or hate him, which means that the person responsible for creating him did a really good job. When it comes to romance, personally, I think that initially his intentions towards Stav are disingenuous. The fact that he uses the word darling a lot, I'm not entirely sure why, but I just don't think he means that in a positive way. Next character is Gale, a wizard, and I am very curious how his story will develop. Personally, I think Gale's alignment can be described as true neutral or chaotic neutral. In his actions, there is a tendency to do good, but at the same time, he is cocky and lofty, which has already led him astray once. It is also worth mentioning that if, after revealing that he suffers from certain magical ailments, we are not willing to help him, he will go to a certain gentleman for help. The consequences of which in the following acts of the game can be catastrophic, to say the least. Just like Astarion, he looks down on us a bit. The big red flag is that if Tav decides to spend the night with Astarion, and we triggered the weave scene where Tav communicated their interest in the wizards, Gale will try to talk them into cheating. if that's what you can call this situation. Furthermore, if we kiss Gale without agreeing to anything else, he disapproves. But the biggest red flag is that he expects blind faith from us. Okay, Lae'zel, a Githyanki, which would imply that her alignment is evil, lawful evil, most likely. I love this character. She's tough, that's for sure. You could say she's military type. She's full of pride, which is admirable, but at the same time, she does exaggerate sometimes. At least in my opinion. Our GIF also has another feature that makes me appreciate her company. Namely, Lae'zel in early access doesn't seem to beat around the bush. She tells it like it is, and that's what we can expect from her. It's worth establishing a deeper relationship with her because she seems to be loyal. However, I fear that at some point in the game she may have to decide whether she's loyal to us or to Vlakiv. Perhaps, though it is doubtful unless you play as Githyanki, she will be able to reconcile the matters. In early access, you can also see that her faith in her people is shaken when we meet the Dragon Rider. The romance with Lae'zel will be interesting, for sure. From the first moment of love elation, I don't know, you can tell that she is a dominatrix. I recommend it to people who like it a bit more rough, if you know what I mean. Of course, in addition to the characters mentioned, Karlach and the Dark Urge will also be available to us at the premiere on August 3rd. Karlach is a barbarian, and according to previous reports, she is a cutie and has massive muscles and a massive heart. Dark Urge is a character whose mind is torn by dark visions and desires. Who is your favorite character? Do you have any other thoughts on companions so far? Thank you for your attention and see you in the next video.